Automobilista 2. I seem to have nonchalantly upset a few people. Obviously, I don't want to do that, but it's also very funny to do so at the same time. Now, I've seemingly made a few people upset and, need to go and get therapy because I made a joke in my last video that went along the lines of, even the arcade ones as well, you've got like Forza, Need for Speed, Automobilista 2. I called AMS 2 an arcade game.
Oh no, how terrible. That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no.
Now, for context, this is a bit of an inside joke between me and my friend Stephen Bailey. He's an avid defender of the game, admits that the game has got issues, but I'm always the one there in chat taking, just childish jabs and jives at the game.
Shut up. Oh my god, man. You're like my uncle telling the same joke for 10 years.
Can you hear the violence in his voice? Now, when I made that video, I was expecting to have a lot of iRacing defenders in chat, and let's be real, okay, people are entitled to get defensive about their favorite game. Now, what I didn't expect was that there was a lot of level heads in the comment section of that video. I had some very reasonable discussions with people that, had their opinions about iRacing and their pricing system. Genuinely caught me off guard, that. However, when I made that joke about AMS2, and that is the only time I mentioned AMS2 in the whole video, my goodness. Some of you had a right meltdown. Now, it is no secret that I haven't really gotten on with Automobilista 2. I once made a review on Automobilista 2 after a few updates, and I didn't like it. And to this day, that is by far my most disliked video on this whole channel, percentage-wise. Automobilista 2 fans are, to put it politely, they're a bit sensitive, okay? That's totally fine, okay? You like something, obviously you're gonna get, a bit delicate about if someone says something negative towards it. Now, I want to just make something very clear. I'm not saying this is only AMS2 fans, because obviously iRacing fans exist as well, but especially in the sim racing community, all sim racing games have their dedicated followers, and it creates that kind of like tribal mentality. And again, this is not all players. This is actually a very small minority of people, but you do get that small amount of people that will get super uptight. Now, here's the thing. Also, another thing is that I haven't really been in AMS2 for a long time. And there are a lot of dedicated and very passionate people when it comes to Automobilista 2. Now, since it's been a couple of years since I did that review, maybe things have changed. Now, before anybody in the comment section wants to preemptively start whining and crying, saying, you're not taking things seriously here. Now, for giving it a second chance and to prove that I'm not mucking around, I actually went into Steam and bought the IMSA bundle, which is like £50. So, I've been playing AMS2. And what do I think of the game? It's alright. It's pretty good, actually. It's all right. The AMS fanboys in the comment section will rejoice when I say, no, it's not an arcade game, okay? I very much enjoyed my latest experience with the game. That being said, though, the game is still simcadey. Now, before you get your pitchforks and start shoving it up me backside, hear me out. There is nothing wrong with simcade, okay? Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Because simcade doesn't necessarily mean that the things that are important are arcade. It's just some aspects are sim, some aspects are arcadey. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean the things that are important to making it a sim are arcadey. Now, to compare it back when I made this video, the game does not feel like it's this game anymore. It's completely different from when I tested it back here. Back then, I hated it. It was awful. But thankfully, a lot of improvements have been made. Chief among which, and remain calm, AMS2 fans, because I know this is going to bring up some, many past hurt feelings when we talk about the floaty physics. You see, for the longest time, my main hatred of the game was the tire model. Most of the time, the cars felt like you were driving a hovercraft, so you just float over here and float. Like, all four wheels would just be going like they were spreading Nutella over toast. Majority of it, not all of it, majority of it is gone. I jumped into both the Mercedes GT3 car, which is front engine, and the Corvette C8 GT3, which is mid-engine. And I have to say, was very impressed. The cars bit, they gripped up, and they felt very fun to drive. Now, there were some aspects at times where there was some flawed, chief among which is in this clip here. That right there is what I'm talking about. That I turn in, the back end starts to come round, and then it felt like some sort of bungee cord was pulling the back end round. So it was kind of just doing that. It was very strange. But it's okay though. This only happened 3 times during a 4-hour playthrough of the game. So it's not happening all of the time. It feels a lot better than what it did when I drove it years ago. You know what this feels like? This feels a little bit like what LMU used to feel like before they updated it. Next up, I tried 2 prototypes. I tried the LMDH Porsche and the Aston Martin. Now, I actually really enjoyed driving the Porsche around Interlagos. Had a lot of fun with that. Oh, this is funny. I love it. You know, one thing I've actually completely forgotten to comment on? Force feedback. Force feedback actually feels pretty solid, to be honest. I can feel what the car's doing, even though it's a little bit detached from what I'm visually seeing. Just a little bit. No, force feedback feels actually solid. Color me surprised. The Porsche didn't feel exactly how I was expecting. The rear end of the car, when I was going around a corner, it felt like I was, you know, sliding the car. Normally cars like that are very planted. However, in this case, when I was driving the Porsche, it felt like I could get like a tremendous amount of slip angle. Like the car was on rails, but semi-sliding at the same time. It felt strange. Boy, I had a good time with it though. One of the aspects about the game that I absolutely adored, the simulation of cold tires. Cold tires felt exactly how I would expect them to feel. And that was with all of the cars that I drove. The only comparison I can really have though is in comparison to LMU. I don't like the way the cold tires react in LMU. They do come up to temperature, but my goodness, I think it's a little bit too harsh in LMU with the cold tires. But then I decided to be bold and try out the thing that I absolutely adore and love about AMS2 more than any other game. Its online capabilities. If I may be honest, this is the crowning achievement of Automobilista 2, is the fact that anybody anywhere can make a lobby within the game. They don't have to do anything like port forwarding on their Wi-Fi router. It's all built into the game. So it's like, oh, okay, I fancy racing online with some people. Make the lobby, make it open, and just see people just join in. Automobilista is actually the best at that. Now, I jumped into a race at Bathurst in GT4 cars. Now, the GT4 cars, they're not as good as the GT3 cars in terms of drive quality, but they're still good. I still enjoyed them. I hopped into my trusty Mercedes, and as the race was about to begin, I got this bug. I accidentally right-clicked on someone's profile name, and then the lobby begun, and the profile didn't disappear. So I was stuck at the start line, revving my engine, but couldn't see where I was going unless I escaped from the game. Got a drive-through penalty. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Everybody's like 20 seconds ahead. That's unfortunate. Oh, there's been a few, no, Mercedes, come on. Oh, I've got damage already. Oh. Feels very heavy, this car. Oh. So I thought, oh, let's just see where we can go. It was a 7-lap race and I still won the race. Like, this is not a criticism of the game or the people who play it, but like, because the game is so easy to drive and the physics are very forgiving, then obviously a certain type of driver is going to, you know, go into those things. And not to mention, some people are going to be on one of these as well. So you've got to cater for that. But yeah, I did like 7 or 8 races that night. I had fun in every single one of them. Went to Watkins Glen, went to Silverstone. There was even a wet race as well. AMS2 fans can rejoice because this video now is completely irrelevant. I may even go back and do another full-on review of the game and go into every single detail that I went into with this video and, you know, rectify some of the things. Again, there are still things that I've got a few gripes with. That's fine. The game is SimCady. That is also fine. Now, the title of this video is Why is AMS2 so fiercely defended? Now, my first theory as to why is some of the prices of some of these things. Well, actually, let me rephrase that, because some of the prices of these things are actually not bad at all. What I am saying, though, is that if you're a new person that's trying to come to the game altogether and get everything, it is a lot of money to get everything all at once. Now, you've got a lot of people that have been with the game since day one, have put a lot of money into it over time, and thus put a lot of time into the game itself. Then I can understand why people will be so aggressively defensive of the game. My second theory as to why AMS2 is so ferociously defended is because of the way the game drives. Now, AMS2, when it comes to the driving aspect of it, is a very forgiving game. The cars are very easy to drive. Now, obviously, but if the cars are easy to drive and they're fun to drive, it's going to attract a load of people to come and play it. Thus, in turn, people will enjoy driving a game that's very forgiving and the cars are easy to drive. And then along comes a spider in the form of a sim racing content creator who then criticizes the unrealistic aspects of the game and says, I don't like this because A, B, and C is unrealistic. Naturally, the people driving the game who enjoy the game are going to get a bit het up by that, because basically what you've done is you've come along and said, oh, my driving is inadequate because this game is unrealistic. How dare you? And then fights start breaking out where things go beyond logic and reason, and thus the content creator will be like called all names under the sun, like, you don't know what you're talking about. And that is not what I'm intending or want to do at all. Nobody is an inadequate driver for enjoying this game. Nobody is. It's a ridiculous statement. Nobody's ever going to say that. It's just unfortunate, you know, assumptions can be made, and human psychology is unfortunately a very treacherous thing. But now I completely understand why people love this game and get so defensive about this game. It's because the game and the cars are easy to drive. It's a very enjoyable game to drive. There were tons of incidents where I was going way too fast into a corner and should have ended up in the barrier, and the game was like very forgiving and I was able to consistently overdrive the cars. Now, I shouldn't be able to do that. However, I had a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoyed it. So that's where I would say the SimCade aspect comes into it fairly strong. As the simulator aspect is, you know, the cars, you can drive them like a real car. But where the game kind of holds your hand a little bit with the arcadey factor is when you push the cars. It's the finer details. The majority of it is simulator, but the tiny little 10% of it, there's like some arcade aspects of it to kind of like just keep you on the road kind of thing. And before the AMS2 chads start furiously typing in the comments section, that's not a criticism. There is nothing wrong with that. I had fun with the game. But this brings me onto the thing that desperately needs improvement. And it isn't so much as the game itself, more so the people who use the game. You guys. You see, it is completely understandable to be defensive of something that you like. However, you've got to keep your head screwed on and not lose control. Now, before I go any further, I want to clear out, I'm not saying all AMS2 fans are toxic. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that some of you are overly passionate about this game, to the point where reasonable criticism has been treated in the same vein as someone punching your mother. Just because you like the game, that does not mean it is immune from criticism. All games can be criticized. All things can be criticized. Heck, this video that you are watching me on right now can be criticized. That's why we have a comment section. Some of the, you know, name calling and pretty vicious comments I've seen, not to me, but to other content creators, like Gamer Muscle, for example, has been rather badly harassed. And I don't say this lightly, but you should definitely know better. But yeah, I hope this video, we can have some nice, civilized discussion in the comments section about what we like about AMS2, what we don't like about AMS2. But anyway, guys, I'm done talking for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Check sponsors, go and check them out, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You know what to do.